have, after all, planned and promised to stay celibate until marriage. Cheers, God. Hello, little ones. Gather round. Grandma Lena is going to tell you a story. The year is 2004 and Lena is 13 going on 14. Bad times all round, you would think. At least according to my 14-year-old diaries. Say hi. Now, if you've been on this channel for a while, you know that I have gone through my old diaries before. I fervently kept diaries throughout all of my teenage and early, late childhood kind of years as well. And while they aren't the incredible documents of modern life that I thought they'd be when I was chronicling my ever important experiences of the world, they have been fascinating to look back on in more ways than one, and often I've taken you along for the ride. When I was going through these two, my first thought was just like how I realised how interconnected people's lives are and how a lot of the stuff in these books is pretty radioactive because it's about other people and other people's lives and people that I can't share their secrets with. So I have carefully gone through these and tabbed up some funny /sad/ interesting parts that are more introspectively just about me. And I thought I would sacrifice my dwindling internet integrity by sharing them with you today. Now, if there's one thing you need to know about 14-year-old Lena, is that she was real into God. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, but because I personally no longer feel like there is a God, or if there is, he is definitely not personally interested in my life. And I think the way I went about my personal brand of Christianity was a little weird. For example, later diaries than this, not these ones, but ones that came after, weren't directed to Dear Diary, or perhaps to an imaginary person like Kitty, or something like that. No, they were addressed to the Lord Jesus Christ himself, and riveting reading, I'm sure they made for him. These ones are just to Dear Diary. So without further verbal delay, which is apparently what I'm trying to do with this speedy little intro, let's get into it. Okay. This is after telling somebody that I really fancied them and them not reciprocating. Dear Diary. And then I immediately start quoting Casting Crowns. Oh, what I would do to have the kind of strength it takes to stand before a giant with just a sling and a stone. That's what I need to do, Lord. I have the strength to step out of my comfort zone and brave the waves. First wave, foremost in my lil mind at the present time, is that big gushing one. Let's call him Steve. Steve! Yes, he knows, but not to worry. Judging by his ever lovely chat we shared on MSN, without a trace of the previous knowledge confided in him, it looks like he just wants to pretend like it didn't happen, and I guess I will act accordingly. And then there's a quote from Moulin Rouge. Inside, I may be raining, my makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. I was such a little Tomorrow in the drama studio, I will hold my head up high and show the world that I am not afraid to be a single, independent thespian. You know what? I'm not amazingly heartbroken. I was never in love with him. Oh, hell no. Nothing of the sort. And although it's disappointing to see he doesn't like me the way I like him, I can still find comfort in the fact that Steve has seen and known the whole of me, better for worse, for real. I know he's seen all that he needs to see to make an informed decision, so it's not like I can have any regrets. Wow, to have the audacious confidence. Where did this go? In my 20s, I was like, nobody loves me, but here I guess the desperation of hormones hadn't quite kicked in. And then I go into an extensively long paragraph addressed to the Lord about how another misunderstood, mysterious boy who I thought was a player actually I think has a deep side and maybe needs me to fix him in some way. Some things never change. And then there's this huge writing on the next paragraph. Oh my gosh, what the hecky peck am I going to do? No way, hell's teeth, feather of lead, oh loving fate, oh anything of nothing, first create, a blessing in disguise, a curse, a curve with a corner, an anchor of polystyrene, I'm not making this up, this is genuinely what I've put. Oh, devil's love. Oh hell, I can't think of any other oxymorons, but fuck it, this is serious. I am going round Steve's house alone. Kill me. Revive me. Kill me again. To say I was a subtle child would be a massive lie. On this page we have an incredible life to-do list, which leaves a lot of questions. It's called Kathy Norms, because my whole name's Kathleen, I used to go by Kathy. Kathy Norms 2015, official and authentic overview, or if we were many, an AGM. But as far as I know, I'm 1 in a million. Or if we were many, an AGM. I'm already talking about having an AGM with my personalities. Okay, and this to-do list has been broken up quite helpfully into sections. Section 1, style-wise. Get a drastically good haircut. Dye hair with henna for sensible grow-out period. Darker colour. Stop biting nails for good. Paint nails dark colour, brackets. Nail paint, question mark. Tipex Doc Martens for eccentric style. Eccentric spelt EXENTRIC. Next time I need new glasses, I need to get thicker, but still black frames or invisible ones like Janine's. Who's Janine? A stylish person, apparently. Search more charity shops. Don't consider others when dressing self. Can you also tell that this is the age that I think I read Bridget Jones' Diary when I was 13, but it's basically plagiarism at this point. Love the skin I'm in, brackets, pretty much nailed it, but it's always good to have an ongoing goal. Which is fascinating because later in the diary I find a measurement log of my belly from various weeks over that year, and I measured my belly every week. So to say that this might be fighting talk, I think would be fair. Section 2, emotionally. Enjoy spending time alone, which I do, and make more use of it, i.e. walks, art, practicing speeches, singing exercises, and feeling the sound come from my soul. Spend valuable time properly vamping up room to make it not just good, but an amazing room to live in and bring friends to. Pray more. Separate note, listen when I pray more. Join a real soul-searching church that will challenge me and protect me from going backwards. Do more lil things around the house. Ask, but don't expect answers about the future. Practically, stop losing so much stuff. Own less stuff. Buy old records for room walls. I didn't have a record player and apparently I didn't intend to, I just wanted to stick them up. Hadn't seen Perks of Being a Wallflower yet, but it seems like it is imminently on the horizon. Probably wasn't even out then, but... Drink at least 2 litres of water a day and lose a lil weight. 2 pounds. Brackets. How much is that? Futuristically is the last paragraph. I'm 13 here. I'm 13. No, I'm 14. I'm 14. I'm 14. Anyway, sure. Look into everything, yet think carefully. I wouldn't say that's a specific, measurable goal, but I guess smart targets were yet to be invented as well. Enjoy sixth form and think of it as a stepping stone, not as a permanent stop. A service station, not a destination. Don't let it define me, but refine me. Do I not sound like somebody who would be very susceptible to a pyramid scheme at 15? No? Arguably, the UK Christian Youth Working Network potentially was a kind of pyramid scheme, but moving on, we don't have time. Get a job or think about it. Get involved in more youth work. Enjoy English lit. Get every last morsel out of drama. Ravish, flourish, and relax in art. And the last one, love all of life, love all people, and grow into an amazing Jesus freak. Good luck, me. Here's another teenage Angelica moment for you. Later that day, or should I say next? That's also a commentary. Later that day. Is that... Okay, it is now precisely 3:04 AM and I am critically ill with my 6th and arguably worst batch of tonsillitis, and I haven't had a wink of sleep, hence the fact that I've now finally turned off the light and decided the best course of actions are to, 1, lay awake all night so I can sleep my way through what will be tomorrow's 5 hours of agony for me while I sit through all the CCC, I think that's Caucasian Chalk Circle, rehearsals times I'm missing. Number 2, write absolutely everything pointless thought that comes running through my brain and keeps me from slumber in the hope that I will bore or embarrass myself into oblivion. At least I'm self-aware. God knows what would happen if I read the whole of this. Probably that too. For good sensible measure, brackets, my New Year's resolution is to make this tactic a permanent fixture in my future judgment, I choose the latter. So without further ado, I present to you the delicate and pressing matters that have been running through my fevered brain with extremity for the past 2 hours. Do any 15-year-olds talk like this? Or was it just me? Number 1, for the prom, do you think I could find a dress like the one Audrey wears in the Little Shop of Horrors, the sexy 60s black and white one? Although perhaps minus the cleavage. Prude. I have, after all, planned and promised to stay celibate until marriage. Cheers, God. It'll be worth it. I wish I was making this up, but this is genuinely what it says. Number 2, what if I'm destined to lead a single life? Brackets, didn't explore that one too much as I'm already in a depressive rut after all the poo mentioned in the previous entry earlier this day. Don't want to read that. Number 3, I think I feel sick with tiredness. 4, okay, that thought just made me want to stop writing, so I turned off the light a couple of minutes, time now 3:29 AM, but obviously this writing lark hasn't done the trick as I'm still stuck here in this unbearable state of consciousness. Relatable content. I think also the thing is, when you are an adolescent and you also believe that you have an all-knowing, ever-present, ever-interested audience, it's very tempted to play to that. So this reads like I really believe somebody is listening, and I did there's something about having a rapturous audience at all times that I don't know if it was good for my ego, you know? However, if there is a God and he had to listen to this, maybe that's why God is dead. Number 5, what else have I been thinking about? Yes. First, why did God make our noses stick out from our faces so much? It's dawned on me that this must not only be for the predatorial reason of being able to smell first, or being able to inspect something without putting your whole face into it or whatever. Clever. Scientists watching, confirm or deny below. Possible. But also, for the modern day man, it was also so we didn't die of cot death by sleeping with our faces in the pillow. The nose bars this luxury. Genius. I am so precocious, it's literally unbearable. Brackets, if I were well, I'd probably say, listen to me, insanity is nigh, and shut the book promptly. But as I have a high fever and I really need some sleep therapy, I shall continue. Number 6, I go on to the complaint on the wonder that is my bodily confidence, and the fact that there is nothing I really hate about my looks at all. Fingernails, elbows, the lot. So I'm a bit podgy around the edges of everything, but that's most definitely comes under the minor detail category because I still think it's cool. Just as Sarah loves Sky Masterson from Guys and Dolls, just like God loves us. Anyway, this is a whole track of thought came up originally in my direction to my nose ponder, and after lying on my front for a while complaining of nostril mysteries, I realised another part of me in which I love is my boobs. I'll read on, but perhaps we'll cut if this gets too extra. So they may have the odd cock up. Don't think that's what you think it means, you know? So they may have the odd cock up here and there, but really they are the perfect size. Big enough to look good when balancing out my poor old, ever so slightly saggy stomach, and in general looking cool, yet small enough so I can still settle myself for a good night's sleep on my front, should the occasion arise for it, which tonight it should. If I get any sleep, that is. It is now 3:54 AM. Okay, I'm going to put on some slow music and wear the white flag of a soldier's surrender. Adieu, my mission has officially failed. Good night. Brackets, note, not good night, because guess what? It's flipping not. Look, all that's left to say is there's more where that came from. I didn't even scratch the surface of these 2 diaries, and there's at least 15 more. I have read some of this out on the internet before. I'll leave those videos here. But if you would like to see even more of these, please comment below. Perhaps I'll make another video, or perhaps there's so much material here, this could be a whole podcast series. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. You can join the Gumption Club, a lovely group of people who tip me per video to make sure these videos keep happening. And in exchange, I add them to a secret Facebook group, and I also give them a podcast every week, most of the time, as a thank you. I've been shit at that this month for some undisclosed personal reasons, but it will be back. And I honestly, if I'm gonna read out more from these, it'll probably be on that Patreon podcast. So you can find out the link to how to join below. If you like this video, please subscribe, stick around. I upload every single Monday, and so I will see you next Monday. You're way ahead of me on that one. You got it. See you on Monday. Frog Slug out.